everyone, this is Dawn and welcome back to my channel. So I am coming on to share the, week 8 already, the Index Card a Day Challenge, ICAD 2025, which is hosted by Gypsy999 here on YouTube and Instagram. And her blog, daisyellowart.com, is where you can find all the information about it. I obviously have been following the prompts. You can do mixed media, you can do off prompt, but again, the idea here is to do a little bit of art each day. So this is for the months primarily of June and July. 61 cards in all, and next week will be it, and I think there's only 5 left for next week. But here are my index card shares for the week. First one, number 50, was Clouds, and this was so cute. I used a couple of products here. Brutus Monroe has these creative cards. I picked these up not long ago, I think from scrapbook.com, either there or Simon Says Stamp. They both carry them. And there are 36 different cards in here. When it was cloud, I thought of these with the rain, and I'm like, well, there's sure to be something with the clouds in there. There's little 3x4 cards. All are different with wonderful little graphic images. And then my background paper here is this Pink and Main Colorful Spots. I love papers that kind of look like mixed media, and they're just fun and colorful, whimsical even. So I did use that as a background paper where there were more pinks up top. I had the pink and oranges up here, kind of the blue, green, yellows is the way that paper was laid out. And I did add a little bit of a black cardstock to layered in to kind of put a little separation between the background paper and the little card. I punched out a couple of little clouds with some glitter paper, and I think this was an art by Marlene Word sticker, Ride a Rainbow. So that was fun. This next card here, number 51, was OG or Paisley. I had to look up OG, which is another pattern, but I went with the Paisley. And then this was an old greeting card where I got these little boys from. So fun. So I cut them out. They all wouldn't fit on my card, so I put this last little guy on the back. But this was so fun. Such cuteness. Do what you got to do. And I thrifted this, so it's like an old card and so perfect. And then this here, Gyroscope, prompt 52. I don't know, these are not colors that I normally use, but I really like the way this one came out. I used an old scrapbook paper pad that had a lot of travel and eclecticness in it, and this was a cut apart in there, this ship. And then the gyroscope definition came from like an older, from the 50s, 60s, maybe 70s youth dictionary. So it had the great graphic of the gyroscope with the definition. I had another journaling card that said boarding pass, and then I did add one of those Tim Holtz stamps with a picture of an airplane on it, and then I added a little train down here that I cut out. So I really enjoyed making this one. It's a little bit of a departure for me, and maybe it's the colors, I think. And then this one here was Calligraphy, again from a scrapbook pad. I did find this scripted background. I did find this image in an old book, since there was some pink already on the page and the text. I added one of these little Tim Holtz little pink, says Token of Love, that I added in over here. Another little Tim Holtz. I just trimmed off an edge of a card just to give a little more pop of color with some greenery here, and then I just added a little piece of fabric and some yellow flowers here, a word sticker, Collector of Memories. So that was fun. This one here was very simple. Prompt 54 was River. This image came out of an old watercolor lesson book, and I loved the gray and the yellow of it. And again, it was very simple. I just added a coordinating piece of paper here, a little floral with gray and yellow, and then a little word sticker here that says Rise Above. So very simple, but I really enjoy that one. And then here, cloverleaf or roundabout. I didn't know what a cloverleaf was, because I was thinking, you know, the traditional little Irish, you know, little plant. And then I was like thinking about roundabout, and I'm like, well, what does that have to do with? And maybe you knew that, I didn't. So again, kind of more of a traffic situation. So I wasn't sure what I was going to do about that. And again, I love to thrift books, so I found this Roads in the Air in like an old kind of reading textbook from like elementary school. And then I've got a few Richard Scarry books, and I cut out the fun little mice driving their little cars. I thought they were so fun. And then I did just ink little broken dots around the edges here, and I thought that came out so cute. And then last but not least is cactus, and these are both from a Heidi Swap pad. Again, I've been very, very busy, so I needed a simple card, and this is very simple, but I think it gets the job done. The background graphic, I think this paper pad was called Carefree, so the graphic, and with the peach colored kind of sky, maybe the background of it was really, really graphic. And then it had a cut apart in there, so I just cut out the tag off that cut apart, added a little gem that picks up the background paper, and then I doodled a little bit of a background. So these are my prompts for the week. And again, on the back, a lot of times there's a little overpass there. If I don't want to throw away something I'm trimming out, I will just stick it right on the back. So anyways, we're almost done with this challenge. So thanks for stopping by and watching. Would love it if you give me a thumbs up, subscribe if you haven't, and I will see you in the next one.